but we ask aspiring citizens to pledge and affirm loyalty to Australia and its people, whose rights and liberties I respect and whose laws I will uphold and obey. And the overwhelming majority of migrants do just that. They pledge their loyalty. They uphold our laws. They integrate and make an enormous contribution to the success of this nation. But when second and third generation Australians are overrepresented among the legions of foreign fighters, and our nation is being tested by foreign espionage and interference, there is a need to broaden the scope of the work, and that is why the government moved to reinforce the importance of evidenced integration and the English language in the steps to acquire Australian citizenship. And in opposing this reform, Labor opted for cheap political opportunism against the interests of this nation in ensuring aspiring citizens share Australian values and have the linguistic and other means to integrate successfully. I can assure you that the government remains committed to this reform and will work with the crossbench on the basis of a new package of measures, and we will work, as we flagged at the end of the last year, to see that across the line. In my view, there is a place for the pledge in a broader, rejuvenated civics effort with school-aged children, regardless of their background. In fact, it behoves all sections of society to reaffirm our nation's core values through our words and our deeds. An ability to speak frankly is a crucial core value presently under attack. It was borne out at the beginning of the year with a discussion about violence in Melbourne perpetrated by members of a Sudanese gang. We are not going to be shouted down by people who want to rewrite history or pretend that a problem doesn't exist.
The conversation.
Michelle Grattan from The Conversation.
Sure.
Mr Dutton, you spoke about favouring some sort of pledge being given by school children. I wonder if you could tell us what you think that should contain and whether you're going to promote that. Is it basically a state matter? Would you want that to be taken up by the federal government with state governments?
Michelle, the broader point that I was trying to make is that I think we need to provide support through my department, through the Department of Education, elsewhere, at both the federal and state level, to talk more about our story, about our history, about our core values. And I think there is a lot that's crammed into the curriculum, and that's an issue for others. But I want us to talk more about civics and about the great attributes of the way in which our country was built. And it goes back tens of thousands of years. And the point I made is that we should honour that period, but we should also honour and not shy away from British and European settlement, which has provided us with, for better or worse, the fourth estate, all of you here today, and the democracy that we all take for granted. There are lots of people who come to our country that have come from a war-torn Africa or parts of the Middle East otherwise that haven't seen institutions like ours in full swing, and we should talk a lot more about it. And what form that takes, we're happy to have that discussion, but I think we should be proud of our heritage in its continuation and the fact that it's provided us with what we have today, and we shouldn't be embarrassed or shy away from that. And that's the point, at least in part, I was trying to make.
You need state governments to cooperate, though, if they're to incorporate this into.
I mean, why wouldn't they, Sabra? They're always happy to oblige with the Commonwealth direction. So, let's work with them.
The Guardian.